If you're looking for a new recipe to add to your Christmas baking this year, but it has to hold the bar in the delicious department, of course, and you like maraschino cherries and coconut, well, I think you're gonna like this one. This is a new recipe inspired by the top of a cake I used to eat when I was a little girl. My mom always made Queen Elizabeth cake, and I'd like to eat the caramely coconutty topping off of it. So we're going to combine that caramely coconut with some maraschino cherries and a few other goodies and put it on a shortbread crust and turn it into some cherry almond tart bars. Perfect for desserts and cookie exchanges, and if you just need a little something sweet to snack on over the holidays. So if you like the sounds of this and you want to learn how to make these, please hit that subscribe button, come along with me, and I will show you how. Let's get cooking. First thing we need to do is line our pan with some parchment paper and preheat our oven to 350. Then into a large bowl, we want to sift 2 cups of flour, and 2/3 a cup of icing sugar. To that, we want to add 1 cup of butter, just chopped into approximate 1-inch cubes. And you can use a pastry blender for this part, or a mix master or handheld mixer of some kind, which is what I'm going to use. You can do this with cold or room temperature butter. Room temperature butter just goes faster than using really cold butter. You just want to blend it until you have a nice fine meal like that. And then we're going to put it into the pan. And I like to pat it down with a fork first and then smooth it out with a spoon. And we're going to pop this in the oven for 25 minutes and get to some scullery duty. Not too much, just a little. For scullery duty on this one, we just have to drain 250 mils of maraschino cherries. That's about 8.5 ounces. You can discard the juice or drink it or use it for something. And then we're going to pat them dry on some paper towel. They don't have to be super dry as long as we get most of the moisture out. And then we're just going to chop them a little bit because I think they're too big if we leave them whole. And instead of, you could chop them one at a time if you want, but I am just going to give a quick chop through them so that most of them are about half to a quarter to a third their size, just so you don't have whole giant cherries. And because these are Christmas bars, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of green cherries. I couldn't find maraschino cherries, so if you can't, don't worry about it. Just get the candied ones. And I'm going to chop those about the same as the red maraschinos. You do want to make this with maraschino, though, for the most part, because they are a different flavor than candied cherries. I'm just adding these because I want a little festive green color in there. All right, I'm just going to set these aside and we will make the topping because the crust is just about ready to come out of the oven. The topping is super quick and easy. You just want to use a medium-sized bowl. Add a 1/2 cup of melted butter. And we're going to also add a 1/2 cup of corn syrup. I'm using white light corn syrup just because that's what I have, but you can use the regular golden corn syrup as well. Both will work equally as awesome. And you want to use a 1/4 cup of sour cream. Do not cheat on the sour cream. This is not the time to go into the diet zone. You want to use full fat sour cream. I have tried it with the light low fat stuff, and it actually goes it holds too much water in the bars, so that's not a good plan. So keep it full fat. And then we also want to add to this, I'm going to add almond extract. If you're allergic to nuts, you can add vanilla extract, but you want to add a teaspoon of your extract. And then just whisk that together till it's nicely blended. And then to this, I am going to switch to a spatula for this part because we're going to add a cup of slivered almonds and a cup and a half of shredded coconut, or you can use the flaked, large flakes of coconut, preferably unsweetened. We'll mix that around and add the cherries. Look how festive it looks already. So our base is ready. You can see it's just nicely golden brown. And all we want to do is put the topping on the base and spread it around until it just covers the crust nicely. And now we just have to pop it in the oven for about 30 more minutes till it's bubbly in the center, and we will have ourselves some delicious coconut cherry almond tart bars. This is what they look like when they're ready to take out of the oven. You want to let them cool for about an hour or so, and they'll be looking awesome like this. And it's time to cut them into some squares. These are really easy to cut into squares. The parchment paper makes it super easy to be able to lift them out. And the most important thing is you want to use a big knife so that you can just cut by pressing straight down rather than sawing back and forth. You want a big, clean, sharp knife. And speaking of clean, it will make a nicer cut if you have a cloth handy, a clean dishcloth where you can just wipe the knife blade before you do every cut. That way you'll have nice, clean edges, just like a fancy bakery. So there we have it, coconut cherry almond tart bars. And if you guys could come through the camera and smell these or taste them, your face would look as happy as mine does right now. They are delicious. Anyways, if you enjoyed cooking with me and you'd like to have some more fun adventures at Juliana's Kitchen, please subscribe and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day and happy Christmas baking to you.